Welcome back to EastValleyTribune.com. Varsity Xtra 2013 football previews. The Mountain View Toros, you might have heard of them, one of those smaller schools on Brown Road in Mesa somewhere. I'd never heard of them either, but we're going to talk about them anyway. And Kyle, first of all, what a difference 2 years makes, huh? Because 2 years ago when Chad DeGrenier was hired and the Toros struggled mightily, everybody was up in arms and wanted him out of there. And suddenly last year they win some games and they go to the playoffs. And all we're saying was give Chad DeGrenier a chance. And it seems like they're starting to reap the rewards of a little of that patience. The question I have then is the momentum, strong momentum they built last season, do they have the pieces in place to continue what they've started?
Yeah, definitely think so. You look at that offense, and they were really putting it together once John Clark took over as quarterback. Everything started to click. And they have a lot of those guys back. They lose Weston Bircher, their top running back, but talk about Clark Brown and Robbie Millward and Chase Funk and Clark, and they got some good offensive pieces. And with the way Chad knows how to run an offense, and he does a lot of different things. He likes throwing the ball. They got their top two receivers back, so definitely room for optimism in Mountain View, which kind of say that for the first time in quite a few years. It was, like you were saying, it was down, 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 and now they had a good season last year, and now they're looking to build on it. And
the interesting part also, Chase Funk, who began last year as the team's starting quarterback, still played a little bit part-time at quarterback, but seemed to do a nice job of embracing his ever-shifting roles and, not outwardly complaining, sort of taking what the coaching staff did with him and seemed fairly cool about it.
Yeah, and Chad's so good at that Chase didn't just become the backup quarterback. He became a wide receiver. He ran the ball. He still threw it, and they like doing trick plays. They can do wide receiver passes with him, and he's a nice element to have because he's still one of the best players on the team. Clark might have been a better passer, but they definitely used Chase in a lot of different ways, and I'm sure they'll do that again.
Yeah, and one of the challenges they're going to have, I think more so this year, is that schedule. It's definitely an upgraded schedule this year, which obviously, since nobody knows anything about the power rankings, could work for them or could work against them. Nobody really knows. I think they are very close to being a playoff team again. I think they're going to go 5-5, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. They've got Highland, which is definitely a game they could win. That's kind of a toss-up game in week 3, I think. And they've got Pinnacle. That's going to be really tough. Although they beat them last year. They've got Desert Mountain, they've got Desert Ridge, and they've got Red Mountain, and that Red Mountain game is going to be a really good one because that could go a long way for both teams, and the fact that Mountain View won this matchup last year in what turned out to be a big-time defensive matchup. So I think they're a 5-5 team. However, I could certainly see them going 7-3 again, but I think they're in the playoff mix again regardless.
Yeah, I think my prediction's 6-4. Like you said, the Highland game, I have them winning that game, but it's definitely a tough game to tell. And like you said, Pinnacle, they could win, they could lose that one. So there's quite a few toss-ups. Perry, even Red Mountain lost a lot of good players. So I think, for sure they're going to lose to Desert Mountain and Desert Ridge. But other than that, I mean, if everything goes good, they can win 8 games. So it's definitely the type of schedule where we don't know what's going to happen. They could go 4-6 or 5-5. They could go 7-3 or 8-2. So there's going to be a lot of close games. They got to realize that those little things count in those games, and if they play well, it could be a really good season for them.
Yeah, and the Red Mountain game last year was more than proof that's in the pudding of how little things can matter over the course of a game. Regardless, we think Mountain View continues to be on the way up, and we kind of like to think we are right and give Chad DeGrenier a chance.